Hi everybody, this is Boog Reviews, and today I'm going to be doing a review on the NECA TMNT Target exclusive Pizza Club VHS Michelangelo figure. So before we take a look at Michelangelo, let's take a look at all of his numerous accessories. So first up, you get Maxwell the goldfish in his little goldfish bowl, and he looks very nice. He's sculpted really nicely and got some nice paint detail. I like the black outlines on the details on him. That looks very nice. I believe this is Gorgonzola if I remember right. You get some texturing to his skin, all the little dots are painted really nicely. This is just a very nice looking piece. No sort of articulation though. It would have been nice if it had a ball jointed head. It almost looks like it does, but I think the head is just a separate piece that's glued onto the body right there. Up next you get this granola and licorice pizza. It's sculpted and painted really nicely. It's painted a lot better than the last pizza that I showed off. This is so awesome. And all of these are one-off sculpts. I don't think NECA will be using them again, so I'm very happy that we got these. These look very nice. Up next, you get his orange VHS tape there. Up next, you get his thumbs-up hands. Up next, you get this little puppet attachment. You just pop Michelangelo's hand off and put this over top of his wrist. And this is sculpted really nicely. I'm not sure who it's supposed to be, though. I know a lot of people theorize that it was Guy Gilchrist, but I believe one of the people from one of the turtle groups actually emailed him, and he said that to his knowledge it wasn't him. So I'm not entirely sure who it's supposed to be. I still think it's a mystery so far. I'm not sure that NECA has confirmed it yet. But whoever it's supposed to be, it does look very nice, and it attaches to his hand very nicely. Up next he has accessory holding hands. Up next he has his nunchucks. I believe this is what was used on previous Michelangelo figures. You get a little bit of wood grain sculpt on the handle right there and some black lines painted over top of that, and that looks very nice. One thing that I wish NECA would do with these nunchucks though is run some wire up through them. That way you could pose them around for pictures. As it is, it doesn't look dynamic with them just hanging there. I actually took my 4-pack version and ran some wire up through it. It's actually a pretty easy fix to make this look really dynamic. But I wish NECA would start doing that, because I think that would look fantastic, and of course it'd be professionally done if it came straight from NECA like that. I also wish we would have gotten the spinning effects. I can't remember what Michelangelo that originally came with, but since these are kind of like ultimates, it would have been nice if we would have gotten 2 spinning nunchuck effects. I think that would have been really great. But yeah, we don't get any sort of attachments for these nunchucks. You just get them as is. They do have real chains, so that's nice. But yeah, I definitely wish we would have gotten some spinning attachments for them. And finally, he comes with his real fabric apron and this chef's hat. And that looks incredible. NECA did a very awesome job on these. I like how you get the black lines right here for the wrinkles, as well as the black outline right here. And this is made out of a very nice material. It's very firm. It feels like it'll keep its shape. You get this ribbon sewn to the front that you can tie in the back here. I tied it loose enough that I can take it on and off if I want without damaging it. And this has to be a couple of my favorite accessories from this whole Toon line. I think NECA did a very awesome job on this, and he looks incredible like this. So now let's go ahead and take a closer look at the head sculpt. Just like with the rest of the figure, NECA did a very awesome job on this head sculpt. Michelangelo has this very goofy and happy expression on his face, and I think that really fits him. I do wish we would have gotten an alternate head. We don't get any sort of alternate heads with this particular figure, this VHS figure, but I still think it looks very nice. You can see his tongue there. It's painted very nicely. It looks like it's outlined in black even. So yeah, it's painted really nicely. The bandana on Michelangelo is really textured. I don't know if it's showing up on my camera, and I didn't notice it on any of the other turtles. But yeah, this bandana is really textured right here by the eyes. You get the two-tone right here on the bandana with the dark orange and the lighter color right here. The black paint on the shell is done very well. All of the lines on the turtle shells, those black lines came out very crisp and clean. You get the two-tone color on the skin with the dark at the back and the light at the front. You can see back here on the top part of his shell, this light brown paint didn't go all the way to the edge. That's a really small nitpick. I do wish it would have been down just a little bit further, but that's a really small complaint. I feel like on the right side the black lines are a little bit thinner, and on the left side they're a little bit thicker. I don't know if it's just me or not, but the black lines do look different on this side. So now let's go ahead and go over his articulation. He has a ball-jointed head that can look up just about all the way. He can't really look down at all. This one's neck doesn't want to move at all. His head does move side to side very nicely. You get articulation at the bandana that moves up and down and spins all the way around. He has shoulders, just like with all the other turtles that I've reviewed. The left side doesn't move out that far, and the right side moves out just a little farther. He has a swivel at the bicep, single jointed elbow that can bend that far and move side to side. And if you look, they coated this joint in some sort of lubrication. I've seen previous turtle figures like this. That way the joints keep moving. But they really slathered this particular figure in it. I've noticed the knee joints on a couple of the turtles I've reviewed have it, but the elbow joints on Michelangelo are really bad with that. He has a swivel wrist that can move side to side and up and down. He has a ball joint up here in his shell that can move up and down very slightly, and side to side very slightly. He has ball jointed hips that can do a complete split. He has a thigh swivel that moves pretty nicely. He has the best thigh swivel out of all the turtles that I've reviewed so far. He has double jointed knees, swivel ankle that can move down just about all the way, up just a little bit, and a nice ankle rocker. So now, let's do some size comparisons. So first up, here he is next to the 4-pack Michelangelo, and as you can see, this is the one that I added the wire to on the chain. These chains were plastic. It was pretty tricky to run wire through the plastic here because this feels really brittle, but I really like the end result. I think it makes him look very dynamic for pictures and posing him around. I think that looks really good. And I do hope that at some point in the future, NECA does implement wire into Michelangelo's nunchucks if they do make any more. Here he is next to his punk version. I did have the Turtles in Disguise version somewhere, but now I can't find it. So I am going to have to skip that figure for these size comparisons. Here he is next to Bugman, another figure whose chain I ran some wire through. That way I could pose it around for pictures. Here he is next to Kayla. And finally, here he is next to Leonardo and Raphael from the same VHS series. And I am getting very close to reviewing the final figure in this wave, Donatello. So overall, I would highly recommend picking this up because I think NECA did a fantastic job on this figure. This is definitely my favorite cartoon Michelangelo figure. I just love the amount of accessories that he comes with. I do wish he would have came with an alternate head and the spinning nunchuck effects. I think that would have made this release perfect. But it's pretty good as is, and I would still highly recommend picking it up. So that's my review. If you like this review, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching.